Brody Herman.
I am John Huff. That is Brody Herman. That's Ryan Swingley right there. We were just talking about we love Fridays. And even though it's 15 degrees, last time I checked, it's not stopping us from enjoying our early Friday mornings. And I know we're really excited for the SLU Billikens. They're the biggest show in town right now.
Oh, aren't they? They are undefeated in the conference so far with a 20-1 record. And tonight they play Dayton at the Chaifetz Arena in front of a sold-out crowd.
Did your ESPN 3 or plus feed die out like 2 minutes ago? I heard that was happening to some people watching the George Washington finale.
I did not notice that, but it may have.
Okay, fortunately for me, it didn't. I watched the entire second half of that game, and I was really worried that SLU, the bubble was going to burst, but they finally won, which was awesome. Robbie, I mean, he was the perfect guy to hit that game-winning shot. Yeah, I believe the Dayton game is sold out tonight. We got some good high school games tonight, but yeah, the biggest show in town is the SLU Dayton game. But we're going to start this off by recapping basically the games that have happened in the last 6 days. Last week was at least last Friday was pretty entertaining. Brody, we can start off with your Cadets. Their biggest win in arguably the last few seasons with a 79-74 victory over Vianney last Friday. A little unexpected.
Yeah, they stormed the court.
How does that make you feel?
That makes me feel like that's where our program is now, where instead of just beating Vianney and just going home and just like business as usual like it used to be, and we're supposed to win this game, to now it's such a monumentous occasion that everybody just storms the court.
Wait, I'm sorry. CBC stormed the court against Vianney?
Yes.
Am I that out of the
Kevin was
loop, guy?
jumped with the student section. Yes, that actually happened.
Big win.
Oh my goodness. Okay, MCC.
MCC.
But just think about 4 years ago the thought of that happened.
See Brian Turner's tweet though that he wants to be in the MCC. He's now going on a full campaign to try to get St. Mary's into the
Man,
MCC.
BT's been wanting to get in the MCC for so long, man. You know, we played Chaminade, we played Vianney.
It's an all-boys Catholic school.
Played
St.
CBC
Louis.
multiple times. I don't know if they're ready, but that's up to them.
If they were going to do that, it would have been 5 years ago.
Exactly.
Because the football team was great. One of the better teams in the whole state, regardless of class. Then you had Yuri Collins during
Kevin
that time.
Coleman.
Could have been, yeah. There you go. That would have been a pretty good time. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's in the basketball and football at St. Mary's right now is pretty good, but I don't know what they would bring to the table with the rest of the sports.
Exactly.
So,
and the school is kind of small too as well.
it'd by far be the smallest school in the conference. Not even close.
Even though St. Mary's is growing, it is smaller school.
Yeah, about 300, less than 300 kids or so. Or no, it'd be more than that.
Now it is. Mike England told me that it's growing each year now.
Okay.
But their last senior class was only 50 people.
Wow.
So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that's what we got from the CBC Vianney game. I know CBC was getting a lot of flack for storming the court, but otherwise it was a pretty good win. And it's been a few trying years for the Cadets, but trying. I mean, they had a kind of average 2 seasons, and then this year they're starting to get back on track a little bit. Pattonville with a good victory, 68-60. It's quietly been a nice team this year. That was by far their best one of the season. For sure. And then Columbia won the Oakville tournament over beating West Glen, and Columbia they're 18-4. As we are talking right here. Then Chaminade earlier this week with a nice win over Belleville West, 83-70. And I've gotten to see DeSmet play the last 2 nights, Wednesday and Thursday. They had a pretty good win over Rolla, 84-72. Rolla, they have an Illinois commit, Ethan Brown. Yeah, he's about 6'4" guard. He was really good. He had 26 points, 8 assists in that game. Eureka's back on track, 49-37 victory over McClure North. The Stars are losing a little bit of their mojo earlier from the season where they had a really good start. Now I believe they're 13-6. So they're still in good shape though. And then MICDS already, I think from the get-go, if people were paying attention, recognize that that's one of the teams to beat in Class 5. But they had their best victory of the season the other night with a 61-45 victory over Vianney. Vianney, they're falling a little bit right here, but you got to realize, I mean, they are playing some pretty good competition right there. They're now Griffins are now 16-4. The Rams of MICDS are 13-3 now. But yeah, that was a statement victory for the Rams.
Yes, it sure was. And of course, last night, Vashon versus DeSmet, as John alluded to, Vashon won the game 74-57. And that was a tremendous game. Jordan Boyd out with injury, though DeSmet's leading scorer, Will Fullick Jr., 15 points. Braden Butler, senior, with 14 points. Ian Thomas, Indiana State commit, only 11 points for the senior. Ridge James, who's mostly known as a football recruit, actually plays a little basketball for DeSmet as well on varsity, has 7 points to chip in there. But unfortunately lost to Vashon to a tremendous performances last night. Jimmy McKinney III looking like his father with 31 points to lead the Wolverines. Christian Potts, senior, transferred from CBC, 15 points. Wow. Leon Powell Jr. with 11 points to chip in. Of course, SIUE commit Kane McCaskill with 11 points as well. 4 double-digit scores for the Wolverines as they beat DeSmet again 74-57. You were there at this game. John, what were your thoughts on this one?
That was, well, wow. That first quarter by Vashon, they scored 31 points.
Yes, they did.
They only missed one shot. Or no, they only missed 2 shots in the first quarter. One of them was a missed dunk by McKinney. And then the other one was a half-court shot that actually almost went in. But other than that, they were hitting everything. And the first half of the game, they were absolutely lights out. Best shooting performance I've seen in any game this season.
Yeah.
Every year when you watch enough basketball, you see at least 1 or 2 absolute shooting clinics by some team that you're going to come across. And we saw that with Vashon at DeSmet. And DeSmet, I don't think really even played that poorly. I just thought Vashon was that much better. And that has to be the best game for Vashon all season. I mean,
absolutely.
I can't imagine them shooting that much better at a higher clip than what they did in that game right there. So, and it was a career high for McKinney. He had a first time I think he's ever scored. Yeah, I actually know for a fact that was the first time he ever scored over 30 because I looked at his stats from the past
chip
2
off
years.
the old block, looking like his father.
He was, yeah, he did. He was, yeah, and in fact, his dad, was part of that team, that 2002 team that absolutely obliterated the DeSmet in the state championship game at the Hearn Center. And so about 24 years later now, his son is his son's cooking DeSmet.
Think about that. And his dad's also the coach at Vashon. Jim McKinney Jr. is the head coach of the Vashon Wolverines varsity basketball team. And, it looks like the loss of Jordan Boyd definitely impacted DeSmet to a huge level here, particularly in this game.
Yeah, Vashon also, Braden Alford, he was out too, but I think DeSmet not having Boyd out was a
bigger loss.
It's a bigger loss because there's a certain amount of nights he is their best player.
Yeah,
it kind of, I think statistically, this player he's their highest scorer, but any given night, Butler, Ian Thomas, Falk, and Boyd, those 4 guys can all be their best players.
Right,
depending on who's good, who's playing well, and because on Wednesday against Rolla, Butler was their best player. He actually had a career high 21 points in that game. So that just kind of goes to show that they got a good 5-man rotation, and they use about 3 or 4 guys off the bench. So that's a loaded DeSmet team right there. But and then unfortunately for them, they're 15-3. I say unfortunate, but all 3 of their losses were against teams, Vianney twice and now Vashon, who just shot the lights out of the ball against them.
Yeah.
So they've come across, all their losses have come to teams who probably played their best games of the season.
Wow. Yeah, definitely. And of course, Chaminade defeated Belleville West 83-70. Belleville West 13-7. Chaminade now 12-4, leading the charge for the Red Devils. Of course, is senior Omaha, Nebraska commit point guard Johnny Jordan Jr., 28 points. Tracy Collins, another senior, 19 points. Sophomore Elijah Poniwas, 12 points. Another sophomore, Muhammad Karama, also scored 12 points as well. And, of course, Donovan Irving, who I believe is also a sophomore, chipped in with 5 points there for the Red Devils, leading the charge for the Belleville West Maroons. Jaden Lloyd, 30 points. Amari Fenton with 14 points. Ricky Solomon with 11 points. I think Belleville West fought hard here, but ultimately Chaminade pulled away and won 83-70. What are your thoughts on this matchup, John, here?
Yeah, not much of a surprise, honestly. I think that's a respectable score between those 2 teams of where they are. Belleville West, they've been a very battle-tested team. Maybe not quite as much as Chaminade has because of the schedule they've played, but Belleville West, the Maroons are a good team. They're 13-7, and they've got some good victories on their resume, and they got some good length, and they're always athletic.
and they're going to be tough out in the playoffs. And they're arguably the second best team in
the Southwest.
Southwestern Conference besides East St. Louis.
Yeah.
At this point, well, then them and Alton are probably
right.
Yeah, the
yeah
2A and 2B right there, and then
Edwardsville's not meant to be slept on either. 13-7.
Yeah, Edwardsville, they've lost a few games recently. They've dropped a few. They had a tough loss to Mascuda earlier this week. And yeah, I think they peaked at like 14-5 or 13-5 or I think this season so far. So
currently third in the league, 4-3, Belleville West 3-3, Alton at 6-1, and East St. Louis 7-0.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's expecting East St. Louis to drop
no.
Southwestern Conference games right there. One more game I want to talk about real quick last night. Webster Groves all over U City.
Wow.
72-41. It wasn't really ever that close. It was a double-digit lead at halftime for Webster Groves, and then they had a huge third quarter where they outscored the Lions 25-11. Scotty Atkinson with a mere 25 points. Really nothing surprising.
No, he's a Mizzou commit. What do you expect?
Right. Jaden Woods, 14 points. Quincy Williams, 11 points. Peter Oliver, 13 points for the Statesman there.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's just hope that when Scotty gets to Mizzou, he keeps filling out, because it's been disappointing for Mizzou as how some of their, freshmen and sophomores have panned out so far. But
got Jason Crow coming though.
Yeah, that's good, and then Scotty right behind him too.
Yep.
So that's exciting for the Tigers.
All I know is Dennis Gates is not losing his job after the season, regardless of what the record is. So that helps.
Most likely. That's what I've kind of heard. Even though I know a lot of my friends who are Mizzou fans are not happy with him right now.
There you go.
That's what it is.
Webster Groves 13-3.
He seems like an every other year guy though. Like
no. His tenure at Six Flags has been the ultimate throw art. It's like a roller coaster. It's been up and down and up and down, and he's an every year type of guy.
That's it's something, but if you want to be at a consistent program, you don't want to have an every year, every other year team though. So.
No, he has not been the model of consistency yet.
Right. All right. So I haven't posted these yet. I will plan on posting these eventually on our socials, but I might as well leak it publicly on the radio. I have large and small school way too early football rankings for the 2026 season, Roman.
Here we go.
Roman and then Brody. I'm Roman Bishop. He's also on our. I keep thinking he's here, but he's not.
It's all good.
I've been talking to him on our podcast for 7 years.
All right.
Still trying to get that out. All right. Do you want to start going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or do you want to do a countdown?
No, do a countdown. Let's get the countdown rolling.
Right. I feel like it's less surprising when you start from 1 and then go down to the
bottom. Oh no, we got
to
get that countdown rolling.
All right. So we'll start with the large schools. We'll probably more interesting. And this is still a work in progress. Like I'm definitely subject to change, I should say.
Of course, a lot of transfers that could happen.
Transfers, and then I could just be wrong.
Exactly.
Which is more likely to happen.
More likely to happen.
Number 10, I really liked how they ended the season, and they have a decent amount of returning starters. Pattonville Pirates at number 10.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, they ended up in the Final Four, and they've got a returning quarterback, Trevor Beckerman. Is that how you pronounce his name?
Yes, that is him.
That is him. Yes, I believe that the Pattonville Pirates are going to pick right where they left off. They have one of the longest active tenured head coaches in the St. Louis area, Steve Smith.
Yeah, he's been around ever since
2009, I believe.
Yeah, wow, even for because I knew he's been their head coach ever since we've been doing GSV since 2016. So. And that's near 10 years now. So if you've been the head coach the entire time in any place over 10 years, that's quite a while, especially in this day and age. The Pirates. I mean, they return a decent amount of guys. Evan Bryant's an all-state lineman, and they do lose Jarrell West at receiver, who's really good. But I'm certain they're going to find some adequate replacements for him.
Yeah. I would believe so.
If you got a court, and
they're losing Larry Martin too.
Yeah, but Beckerman's only a sophomore, so and I think he broke their school record, single season record for passing yards in a season, by the way.
Yeah,
which is a huge accomplishment because he used to play there,
right?
And so that's the Pirates at number 10, and then a team that they played last year, who they lost to at number 9, Fort Zumwalt North Panthers. They're coming off of they've really had a really good run since 2013.
Yeah, so Joe Bacon's gotten there.
If we're going to expand all that way. But I believe they are back-to-back district champions. not win districts in 2024, but they
Right.
did win districts in 2025. They lost to Cardinal Ritter in
Yeah.
the quarterfinals. They do lose a good amount of guys, but they do return Cameron Sherman and Jaden Burleson.
What a great duo.
Two best athletes there on offense, and they had I think a few other returning key starters on defense come back, but they do, I believe, lose 4 offensive linemen, and then their quarterback Philip Arpasi. They are pretty good at replacing quarterbacks over the years, but yeah, they're a really well coached, well disciplined team, and yeah, it's just one of those teams that you expect to be there.
Yep.
Yeah, probably not, not a highly ranked team, but yeah, North is a typically mainstay, ranked 7, 8, 9, 10 type
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
caliber team in the large schools. Number 8, the Belleville East Lancers.
All right.
They actually just recently replaced their former head coach with I don't have his name up right here, but they had a coaching change out of nowhere, honestly, because we weren't really it was announced. But yeah, so actually, I got it right here. Their new head coach is Jason Birianic, I believe is his name. He was the head football coach at Missouri Baptist University, but now he's the new head coach at Beverly East.
Why was there a coaching change?
I think their old coach stepped down,
All right.
but that could be a whole lot of things.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That could be something political or whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah.
They return a decent amount of talent. They've been pretty good for the last few seasons now, and
Do you see what's going on over at Platte County?
yeah, Coach Bill Oots, he resigned.
He's going to Lansing.
Lansing High School in Kansas.
Yes.
And his son Jack is committed to, I believe,
Kansas, I
Yeah.
believe.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. But yeah, Platte County. It's definitely I'm not really shocked because it's a big changing of the guard. They had an unbelievable senior class.
Yeah.
And yeah, the cut board must be a little bare, I guess. And that's what I'm hearing from other people in Kansas City too. So hey, that's what happens when you're a public school and when you have when you go 28-0 over the last 2 years, there's probably going to be a drop off after that.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So Beverly East at 8. Number 7. This is when people will say this list might be a little fraudulent, knowing me. But number 7, I got Ladue.
All right.
Yeah, they return about 15 to 16 starter.
Yes.
They return a lot of guys on both sides of the ball, and then Evan Vi, who's their best returning player for them. They can use him in a lot of different ways, variety of ways, especially
Bass
quarterback.
Dixon, Trevor Walker having breakout seasons for the Rams.
Gus Logan as well.
Gus Logan, yep.
Yeah, 3 underclassmen right there, and then just a lot of juniors that are going to come up and be seniors
Yes.
who had a lot of experience right there. So that's a team with a good amount of diversity of as far as veteran experience and then talented underclassmen go.
Of course.
Yeah. So then number 6, the Eureka Wildcats. They return about half their defense, and then I believe 4 offensive linemen, which is a lot for them because those, they could
reloaded that position, and Jake
reloaded
Feltner
it.
was a offensive lineman, I believe, at Lindenwood.
Interesting. I didn't know that about. Maybe he told me, but I forgot.
Yeah.
But, yeah. He was an offensive lineman in high school, though. Eureka alum as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I like who they have returning with their offensive line. They should have a pretty good run game, and this is just, I think it's a very typical Eureka Wildcats team, right? And yeah, they got a decent amount of returning starters. Probably their best player overall, Noah McCollum, returns. Defensive line, really good defensive lineman, and he's coming back as I believe he's he'll be a 4-year starter.
Wow, yeah,
or a 3-year starter. I don't think he started as a freshman, but yeah, he started as a sophomore. It was immediate impact for them.
Well, they have a really good 2029 offensive lineman on their team. No, his name is, I'm going to figure it out actually right now. Michael, is it Verges or Werges? Is it
Werges, sorry.
Werges, yeah. He's a freshman, 6'5" at 280. He's going to be a sophomore next year, but he's a freshman this past season, started for the Wildcats.
Starting tackle for them.
Yeah, so he's going to be a big name to hear about in the upcoming years.
Yes, he will be. Then number 5, the Troy Buchanan Trojans. They've been really good these last 4 years since 2021, and they're a huge school and they have a lot of depth in their program.
Yes.
They got to replace Carter Dow, who's their best ever running back, and they lose some linemen, but they're going to reload there. I believe they have 3 returning offensive linemen, and then Carter Schaefer, who is their quarterback for pretty much the whole season, for besides their first game of the season. When Hunter Humphrey, he had a very early unfortunate ACL tear that ended his season during the second game of the season. So Carter Schaefer is a sophomore. He was able to get tons of experience as a sophomore and did pretty well, all things considered. And their defense returns about, I think, 5 or 6 starters. And I just trust them to reload.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of guys who probably would have started for a lot of other teams who are just blocked by their seniors because they just have a lot of guys.
Right.
And they got a pretty good system going there. And so for that, they're number 5. Number 4, Kirkwood. I just trust them to reload, and they have been really consistent at doing that. Replacing Cooper Owens, a quarterback, and Jacob Eberhard is going to be pretty tough. But other than that, they returned Travis Shores, who is a converted quarterback and ended up being a really good receiver as a junior this season. They returned him to the fold at receiver. And their defense has always been pretty good, pretty decent. Although it seems like every year in the playoffs when they lose, they do give up a lot of points. But when they play area teams, they're pretty tough there. And then Brody, number 3, CBC.
Yeah, good deal.
They lose a lot.
They do lose a lot.
But I trust them to reload.
Exactly. I think we all do.
And and I know they got some guys that are pretty exciting coming up through the pipeline for them too.
Yes.
And then their best returning players, Corday Gage, and depends where he'll play. If he's a receiver, I heard he can play quarterback, and then as a defensive back for them too. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, this is just I'm trusting the process with Scott Pingle and the coaching staff they have and the players they have. That I'm trusting these guys. It's a trust. It's a trust me, bro.
It's a
ranking.
trust factor. Yeah.
Yes, it is. And then number 2, the Smet Spartans.
Okay. I understand why.
I really like their sophomore class coming up who are going to be juniors, and they return a lot of guys. They return 14 starters.
Yes, they do.
On their team. I believe they're going to have a really good offense, but they need to. I think the big question for them is they have to improve on defense, and how much better.
How good is Chase Cooper going to be? Is going to be the bigger question.
As their quarterback, Chase Cooper. Yeah, he's got a bright future. He's got some potential. But yeah, now he's going to be. I would assume is going to be their new quarterback.
Yes,
he was their backup last year to Gabe Rodriguez, who actually did a pretty good job.
Yeah, did a pretty good job.
Yeah. But what's exciting is that
the Sharp brothers are really the Sharp brothers.
Yeah. The sophomore had a really good year as a running back, over 1,000 yards rushing. And then Rocky Sharp, his brother, is a freshman, one of the better freshmen in the area too.
Oh, yeah.
As a running back and can utilize as a receiver too.
Yep.
And then Ridge James, of course.
Of course. One of the best tight ends of the country. And of course, Royce Searcy, the transfer they got from East St. Louis.
He's a junior. He'll be back.
He'll be a senior this year. Yeah. Malik Waters.
As a receiver.
Yeah. Cash Lucius they've got on that team. And of course on defense, Reese Merriweather they got coming back. And, and Zamfir Daly, if I'm pronouncing that right, Zamfir Daly, Reese Merriweather, Ben Higgins, Ty Veltrup. So I mean, they've got some guys coming back that, it's gonna be interesting to see how the Spartans are this year if they can take the MCC crown.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be. It's gonna be extremely. It's gonna be different because you're talking about this is the most CBC has ever had to replace that I can remember.
No, they lost 20 starters after the 2018 state championship.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that was a while ago.
Yeah,
and they were still good. And they just. The Smet was really, really good.
The Smet was really, really good.
They
won the state championship that year.
I don't see the Smet winning. I don't see the Smet going undefeated and winning.
Right.
Who knows about winning state, but I just don't see them having a perfect record this season. I'll say that.
Right.
Yeah. So, and then last but not least, as the number 1 team is East St. Louis.
Yeah, the city of champions, all gas, no brakes. We don't know what the roster is going to look like, but we know they're going to be number 1.
No, well, they return a lot of starters.
Yeah, they do. They have Cook coming back.
Like Cortez Rupert, Ronnie Go. No,
Rupert's
he graduates,
gone.
but Ronnie Go Miller.
Miller's coming back.
Yeah, they got like all their other receivers besides Rupert coming back, and then Armand Sharp, who is a tight end.
No, he's a senior.
He was a senior. Okay.
Yeah.
And then
Shanklin's coming back, so they're good there.
They do, and then Myson Johnson Cook, their best player.
Johnson Cook. Yeah, and they got Amon Coleman, I think, is coming back.
Right. And yeah, they always have a huge offensive line.
Exactly.
And
Javelle Donnelly is still, I think he's coming back, so they're good.
Who they replace on defense because they lose some pretty good players.
But we know they'll reload.
Yeah, I knew Jabari Lofton is a really good safety for them. And I just know I just really like him. I got to see him as a sophomore when he was at Hazelwood West, and he like almost single-handedly beat Ladue in a game. So that was like, okay, this guy's on the map for me. That guy was really good. So they're in fantastic shape, and I'm just looking forward to when their schedule drops, because it's always the best in the area and one of the better. It's always one of the better schedules, if not the toughest schedule any team in the Midwest has.
Absolutely. And after the break, we are going to talk about the small school rankings, the way too early small school rankings, according to the Gateway Sports Venue for the 2026 season. Don't touch that dial. Stay tuned to the Gateway Sports Venue High School Sports Show on the Lou Information Station, alive and on demand at louinfo.com.
You've seen this. It's brand new. Are you online?
Oh, hey. Oh, so you're new here.
All right, let's get cracking.
Okay, then maybe you should check out our website.
You're insane.
Well, you download songs illegally from the internet.
LouInfo.com. LouInfo.com. The Lou Information Station. 590 AM KLIS, Wood River, St. Louis.
Our origin story begins.
People ask all the time, who the heck is Low Cost Airlines? Well, we're not just one airline. When you're talking to us, you're talking to everyone. We are the discount supermarket for all airline tickets. Plus, we have all the airlines and always have the best prices. American, Delta, United, plus all the specialized international airlines and a lot more. And we make it easy. We guarantee you'll talk to a live human in 60 seconds. You can have the rate you need and have your trip booked in 5 minutes. Now, how cool is that? And remember, when you're talking to us, it's like talking to every single airline available with one fast phone call. All you need to do is call and find the best prices to fly wherever it is you want to go. So are you ready? Call Low Cost Airlines right now. 800-298-0306. 800-298-0306. 800-298-0306. That's 800-298-0306.
LouInfo.com news headlines. Brought to you by Brown and Crouppen. 222-2222.
With your LouInfo.com news, I'm Jared Cirillo. Mayor Kara Spencer says progress is being made clearing the streets of St. Louis after the winter storm last weekend. The mayor said Thursday that the main roads and most residential streets have been plowed, but crews are still working to ensure that every street is taken care of. Spencer also gave an update on the city's effort to provide shelter to vulnerable residents during the frigid weather, stating that 500 people have been transported to a warm place to stay. Spencer also gave support to the St. Louis immigrant community as ICE raids continue in Minneapolis. The mayor said Thursday there are, quote, real questions, real fears, and real conversations about who we are as a country as the nation watches those events. And a man is in custody in connection to the shooting at a funeral home in Ferguson. D'Angelo Taylor faces multiple charges, including armed criminal action, for his alleged role in the shooting during a funeral at the Cotton Branch Mortuary on Wednesday. We're streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com. I'm Jared Cirillo.
Now, LouInfo.com weather. Presented by Home Bank. Member FDIC. Secure your financial future by opening a high-yield checking account today. Go to myhomebank.bank to get started.
Here's your LouInfo.com weather update. A few clouds today as cold high pressure moves in for the next few days. We'll be in the upper teens for the afternoon high. Overnight, some clearing, and we're in the single digits and still breezy. We'll get sunshine on Saturday, pretty cold and a little windy, high around 20, 30 and sunny Sunday. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton for the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com and the free Lou Info app.
St. Louis sports fans, now you can go deeper with STL Sports Central Insiders. Get exclusive access to Bernie Miklasz, Randy Carricker, Mike Claiborne, Jamal Mayers, and more. Plus, your chance to watch a Blues game in the alumni box with Jamal himself. Also, monthly giveaways, Bernie's columns all week, and you'll be supporting local sports media. Join now at stlsportscentral.com.
Introducing the Key STL Burger Bar and Boogie, your new home in the Grand Center Arts District. The Key STL is where the music plays, the game is always on, and the dance floor is open. The Burger Bar features the ultimate smash burger experience with premium pasture-raised local beef and a dozen house-made sauces to top it all off. It's the Key STL Burger Bar and Boogie, 3225 Olive in Midtown. Before, during, or after any game, this is the spot, St. Louis. Find out more at thekeystl.com.
Fast Track Auto Transport has been a trusted leader in vehicle shipping for over 25 years, providing reliable, affordable service across the U.S. Fast Track offers fast and safe transportation solutions for individuals, dealerships, fleets, and businesses of all sizes. The Fast Track team prides itself on honest communication, competitive pricing, and real-time tracking, which gives our customers peace of mind from pickup to delivery. Whether you're shipping a single car or managing a large fleet, Fast Track delivers a smooth, hassle-free experience every time. Come see why Fast Track Auto Transport has been St. Louis's go-to company for all your vehicle transport needs for over 25 years. The trusted way, the safe way, the Fast Track way. Visit ftautotrans.com or call 636-677-9004. That's ftautotrans.com or call 636-677-9004.
Now back to more of the GSV High School Sports Show on the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com and on the free Lou Info app.
We were just talking in the break about players committing to AAU teams, and then fortunately it's the 8th graders committing to a high school. I think is almost seemingly been obsolete. Hopefully it is, at least. So what's your take on that stuff?
I think it's still prevalent. However, I don't know if it's as prevalent as it once was, but I think it's still prevalent. I'm gonna get a lot of commitment graphics today, folks. It's
It's that time of year.
Oh, it's that time of year.
That time to commit to the high school.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. But even it probably is like right around that time where anybody, just any 8th grader who is wherever for anything, is probably like committed, air quote, to a high school. Like they know where they're going to go.
Oh, and then they just flip. I flipped in August.
Yeah. Yeah. Right before the deadline.
Yeah.
All right. So we were talking about way too early preseason rankings.
Yep.
And
Now we're on the small schools.
Small schools. You just did large schools. Quick recap of that. Number 1, East St. Louis. Number 2, DeSmet. Number 3, CBC. Number 4, Kirkwood. Number 5, Troy Buchanan. Number 6, Eureka. Number 7, Ladue. Number 8, Bevel East. Number 9, Fort Dumont North. And number 10, Pattonville for large schools. Small schools at number 10, the Freeburg Midgets, all-time mascot right there.
Man, that is quite a little mascot right there.
Yes, it is. And I'm not saying that just for the, like, Ryan can't believe it.
So I love Freeburg, and they are gonna keep that
They will.
mascot, right?
They will.
They're gonna keep that for eternity.
Over their dead bodies.
Of course.
But no, they're good. They have some pretty good sophomores who contributed for them in key areas and returned a decent amount of starters, and they made it to,
including their sophomore quarterback Joseph Karnak.
Yes, he is. He had a really good season. They made it to the second round of the Class 4 playoffs, and they lost to Bruce Central twice. But other than that, they were pretty darn good. Number 9, the Orchard Farm Eagles. They graduated 2 really good players, and Colin Sinclair, their quarterback, and then Tyson Bronson. Tyson Bronson, who's a 2-way player, but particularly a pretty good linebacker for them. And they've been on a good run right here the last few years, and I'm just trusting them at this point to continue that. They have a pretty good program culture.
Oh, they do. Terrence Curry is a bad man.
As a freshman, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably be their best receiver as a sophomore.
Yes, he will be. His father, Terrence Curry, played at Kirkwood, I believe, and then he went to Mizzou.
And I believe he was the head coach at Trinity when they won state in 2018.
Yes, he was.
And now he's an assistant at Kirkwood.
Believe so.
Yep. Number 8, Lutheran North. They returned Jonathan Moore as their quarterback, and I'm really not so sure who else they have coming back. I mean, they usually have enough.
Well, Brinkley always runs a pretty good offense, though.
They did have a tough schedule as well in there as well. So second year under him, hopefully, expectations are they just understand the expectations that players do, I guess. So We'll see how they go there. And
Kai Robinson's an underrated player on their team.
that's good to know. And again, this is way too early for a reason.
Right.
Number
James
7,
Cousin.
Parkway North.
Yeah, Parkway North though is very solid. Very solid. I think their pipeline for their program is their junior football league program is very solid. So I think they'll be a-okay.
It's been decent, for a while now, and every year now they especially it helps a lot that they're in Class 4 and they play a schedule that is kind of like feels like a Class 5 schedule, and then they go into Class 4, and their district is, to them it's like, well, this is pretty manageable here. This is doable.
Yeah, their quarterback Bolden is coming back. Kenyon Bolden.
Yeah, Kenyon Bolden's coming back. They do have to replace some key players, though. Well, that goes for just about everybody. As long as they can keep their defense, I really like their defense.
Yeah,
this year.
Ethan Turner and David Thomas come back. They've got Arnold coming back, so they're in pretty good shape.
Yeah, and Alex Harvey is a pretty good two-way
Alex
player.
Harvey,
he had a really good year at receiver, so that's huge for them. Yeah, so they're number 7. Number 6, Lift for Life Hawks.
Wow, that low.
Again, this is way too early for a reason. They lost some pretty good players.
Oh, yeah, no.
Phoenix Isaiah at quarterback, and then Tony Woolfolk Jr.
Right, yeah, the son.
Graduated. Yeah. I think they lost.
Javion Scott's leaving too, but they're coming back. Keelan Henderson's coming back.
They got some guys. They actually returned a lot on defense.
They return a lot on defense.
I think they returned 8 starters, and then they lost 5 on offense.
Right.
So their offense is going to look a
little different.
They do return Seven Jackson at running back.
Yes, they do.
He was pretty good for them.
Jerrion Culberson's coming back, offensive tackle. He's 6'8", sophomore.
That's good. Yes. Yep. So that's why I'm a little like, it's a mixed bag, because they were really good offensively, and it does help they return 8 starters on defense, but that's where they struggled a lot.
Yep.
In the games that they lost, particularly, especially in the state title game, where they just had a really hard time getting a stop. But their offense, I felt like, really carried them for most of the season there. But they're at number 6, and it's still fine for them. And then number 5 is Breeze Central, a team who was literally a 2-point conversion stop away from beating Rochester in the state semifinals. They return a good core from their team, who technically officially their best team in school history, where they made it as far as the semifinals in Class 4 for them. And I don't have all the names with me, but they do have a pretty good sophomore quarterback who's coming back for them. There, they do graduate Cole Davis, who is a kind of a do-everything guy for them, and all 3 of their receivers. So they got some pretty good skill guys to replace. But Central's pretty good at reloading with their skill, and their athletes, and they're always physical. And then their head coach Brian Short's one of the best in the business in our area too. So that's a big bonus for them. Number 4, Festus Tigers.
Yeah,
I really like that they returned Parker Perry, who had talk about underrated. Like, nobody talks about him. He had 28, I believe he had 28 touchdowns and 2 interceptions this season.
Lost in the Final Four to Kearney, I believe.
Yeah, they did. And I really think Festus got as far as they possibly could.
Of course.
Within reason. And they lost to the state champs.
Yeah. No shame in that. And they're also bringing back Camden Yates as well.
Yeah. So I think they'll be okay as long as they can return a decent amount of linemen on both sides of the ball. I think they'll be fine there. And then number 3, this is where I'm pretty confident of where we're at least top 3. Cahokia,
of course.
Number 3 for them. They return most of their impact skill guys, and so they made it to the quarterfinals. They got knocked out by Breeze Central, and they return a lot of really good guys. Nigel Gooden starts with him as their quarterback.
Of course, Donald Collier Jr. Of course, he's going to be a senior next year.
Yeah, he was at Collier. He was a second-team All-Metro defensive back on our All-Metro list that we have.
Yeah, Mekhi Henderson's coming back
GSV. Too. They're running back, correct?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, he's coming back. Really good running back. He transferred in from East St. Louis, and it's not East St. Louis, Beverly East.
Beverly East.
Yeah, and a few other really good receivers coming back.
I think Chase Bradley's coming back too, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Yes, he is.
He is coming back for them too. So yeah, they got a lot of weapons, and just a decent line coming back as well. So and this is a team that went 9-3 and made it to the quarterfinals, and their only loss they had 2 losses in the regular season. One was an 8-point loss to Live for Life, who was a runner-up in Class 3 there, and then they had a 2-point loss to Sycamore. But yeah, look out for Nigel Gooden. 2,000 passing yards. He had some really nice plays when I got to see him against Breeze Central, and then like Collier is also a good running back, and then Henderson. So their 2 main running backs are back, and then the receiving core, Hartles Holman, their number 1 receiver, he's coming back too. So they got a lot. And then number 2, Ryan is gonna like this, the St. Mary's Dragons.
Yeah,
I'm told. 18 to 19 returning starters. This is a team who made it to the Class 4
Ray Merriweather and
semifinals.
Chris Brooks leading the charge there. Ray Merriweather head coach, and I think Chris Brooks comes back as offensive coordinator. So
yeah,
it's a pretty good deal for the Dragons there. They got a lot of returning guys. Trayon Hill, who's a freshman, I think he's just excellent. And then, of course, one of the best running backs in the state's coming back, Kingston Miles. However, question marks remain about the quarterback position for the Dragons.
Is that the one spot where they lose a senior?
Yes, they lose senior Riley Smith.
Yeah. Yeah, they were.
Just wanted to say it's going to be cracking on the south side next year, and that's
That's fair. That's fair. They got a great freshman offensive lineman named Elijah Alexander, offensive lineman. I think he's also playing varsity basketball for them as a freshman. Another freshman named Ricky McCaw is another really good freshman they have on that team, and Montel Lomax. So a lot of their freshman guys that were starting or contributing on varsity will be sophomores, and that's why they returned so many players. Greg Hollis really good as well.
Yeah, when I got to see them in the quarterfinals and the semifinals, yeah, their defense. Well, against Parkway North, their defense was really good.
Yeah,
and then it was like Miles was he single-handedly won that game.
Yes, he
against
did.
Parkway North.
Yes, he did.
They had a hard time throwing the football, but they were able to run the ball with Miles there against Parkway North, and then against Hannibal, that was just they were kind of overmatched in that one there. But yeah, they're a team that's going to be, I think, pretty reliant on the run game, especially with the young but sizable offensive line.
They got Gerald Taylor and Caleb Harris coming back also.
Yeah, well, they got pretty much their whole team coming back. Really.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. So and they still, I really liked. I really liked Lomax. He was on
he was
on
great.
Defense. And
he was great.
Is he coming back? Elijah Stuckel?
I believe he is coming. No, he's graduated. He's gone.
Well,
he's gone.
He was an absolute beast.
Yes, he was.
5 sacks, 164 tackles, and 2 interceptions.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. But for the most part, yeah, they're going to be absolutely loaded there. And
can they find a quarterback? They remind me of Mizzou. Like, can they find a quarterback? And if they do, that'll be.
It's going to come down to that probably.
Yes.
But at least if you have a nice rushing attack, and a good defense.
Oh yeah,
you're going to win a lot of games.
I think so.
And then the number 1 team that we have so far in the way to early rankings is the Cardinal Ritter Lions.
Of course,
they're also coming off of a Final Four appearance, this in Class 5, and yeah, this is a team that is very battle tested, and they have already made it clear that they are going to have. They believe they're going to have the best. As Coach Spain even said on Twitter, and I believe him. They've when it releases, they say that they're going to have the toughest schedule in the state.
I can believe it.
Yeah, I do. I mean, it was right up there this past season, having to go on the road to Jackson in a game that was they lost by 3, and Jackson, they knocked out CBC in Class 6. Sorry to bring that up, Brody.
No problem.
And
no problem.
Yeah, and then they played Massillon and the Smets, and I'm trying to think of their schedule last year. But anyway, it's going to be better this year.
Absolutely. And of course, they need breakout campaigns from Dayon Ross, and of course Marshawn Ivy coming back on defense. He's got multiple Division I offers, and of course on offense, Ryan McDavis just picked up an offer from Mizzou recently. He's from the class of 2020 as a wide receiver. They're going to have to rely on him more on offense, considering that they're losing Manny Ellis. And will Rylan Moore finally step up to be the guy at the quarterback position this upcoming season for Cardinal Ritter? Of course, Terrence Jones coming back in the backfield. I think that's going to be the question mark. Will they have somebody step up at quarterback and really take the reins? And if they do, I think the Cardinal Ritter Lions are going to have a tremendously successful season.
Well, they had the 2 quarterback system with Rylan Moore and then Kashmir Manchuch. Man, I cannot pronounce his name for the life of me, but we know who he is. And it was kind of more of like they would have more. He's like 5'8" as a passer.
Yeah.
And then when Cashmere would be in, they would typically try to run the ball, and he was
Right.
good at that. Like they had a good read option game with him and Ellis.
But we all know how the 2 quarterback system works in this day and age. Usually one guy stays, one guy goes.
We'll see what happens there.
We'll see what happens.
Because they had that with Carson Boyd and then that other guy,
Antoine McKee.
Antoine McKay. It worked.
It worked.
I mean, they won 2 state championships with those 2 guys at quarterback.
Yeah.
But really hard to replicate that because one of those quarterbacks is a D1 quarterback for Illinois who's probably going to be the backup for the Illini this season.
Yes.
Carson Boyd. So, but and they got 2 pretty good running backs coming up, and then their offensive line, I assume, is going to be good. They had a lot. I think they lost like at least 3 linemen in the graduation, but you know that they're going to be stacked at receiver with McDavis, and they have guys there. So and last year was kind of a concern for them going into the last season because I think they lost just about all their receivers.
Mhm.
But then like Bryce Claiborne stepped up. Elijah Lucas also stepped up for them too. He was already actually he was already started, but Bryce Claiborne had a huge year at receiver for them. Yeah, but those 2 guys are Lucas and Claiborne are seniors, but McDavis is good. And then Andre Main Jr., he had a quietly good year for them too. So he'll be a guy to step up for them. And then, you already mentioned Marshawn Ivy. He'll be one of the best linebackers in the state next season. I mean, he already was, but now as a senior, he'll be good. And so is DJ Boone. He'll be back I believe he's an outside linebacker or defensive end.
We're going to be filming games tonight, John. I know at the Circle 7 Ranch Showdown, the finals tonight are going to be Kirkwood versus Parkway Central at 8 o'clock p.m. at Parkway West.
Sorry to cut you off.
Good.
Kirkwood with a big upset over Hazelwood East.
Yes, they did.
Last night. So I'm actually not sure where I'm going to be at tonight because
it's interesting.
Probably the biggest game on paper is Chaminade, CBC at Chaminade.
Yes.
Yeah. And so you got the Circle 7.
I don't think CBC's winning that one.
Probably not, but then we said that about Vianney. Look what happened.
And they stormed the court.
Yeah. What if do they storm the court at Chaminade if they win?
Oh, they probably do. Oh, they almost have to now.
Well, they're kind of blocked by because they're on the side where the benches are.
Right.
So they're kind of blocked right there. But
where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah. Right. But it'll be interesting. It'd be crazy how Chaminade takes that if CBC.
Union has a basketball tournament that they have going on.
There's actually a good game between Borgia and Lift for Life tonight at
that
tournament.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think that's at 8:30. That's
Emory Warman is about to go off, I have a feeling.
Against two good small schools.
Oh,
right there.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that's that. And then in the other game, Sykeston, I believe they play Washington.
Yes.
And I believe Sykeston should win that game.
What is the finals of the Union tournament?
Saturday night.
Oh, it's Saturday night. Okay.
Yes.
So the finals are not tonight.
It's a good time. Yeah.
It's a good time.
I've been there a few times and for that game with both times being Borgia versus Sykeston. And it's a good atmosphere there.
Yep.
Big game for St. Mary's. They play Rock Bridge at I believe this is the Ford Zumwalt North Championship. No, it's not. It's the
Ford Zumwalt, I'm pretty sure.
It's the Ford Zumwalt North. I think it's the semifinals of the tournament there.
Yes.
So that might be the game of the night, actually.
Rockbridge, not what they once were, but they've always had a solid program going up against the St. Mary's Dragons.
Well, they've had a good team. I mean, they're 12-2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They won the state championship back in 2019 when they had that loaded team, that 3-headed monster.
Yeah, they did. But I think they're quite happy where they are right now.
I bet they are. I have no doubt that they are.
Yeah, and then MICDS, just this game's out of town. MICDS, that Columbia Hickman.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, that's a good game.
That'll
right
be
there.
a very good game.
Hickman's is a solid team.
Yes.
I expect MICDS to win that.
Of course.
Then, unfortunately, we do have some good games that they're out of area. Marquette at Nixon. Marquette with a huge victory over Staley last night.
Yes, they did. I feel like we've gone back and forth with Marquette, but I've said they're a pretty solid team. They've got height, and that helps them.
Yeah, they got a good ceiling. They have. Brody Owen is their best player.
Of course, the Washburn commit. That guy can go off at a dime.
6'3" point guard for them.
Woo!
Great shooter. And then this is a good game locally. Lafayette at Lindbergh.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I think Lafayette will pull it off, but I think it'll be closer than people expect.
Yeah, Lafayette's 9-7, really battle-tested team.
They got a really good sophomore there, Coleman Watson.
Yes, he is. They've played Kickapoo, MICDS, Eureka. They were unfortunate to lose that game because they had a 19-point lead in the third quarter, and then lost that lead, and then lost the game.
Playing Ladue tonight? I thought they were playing Lindbergh on the 30th.
Tonight's the 30th.
Yeah, so it's Lafayette and Lindbergh,
Did I
not
say
Lafayette
that?
and Ladue. No, you said Lafayette and Ladue.
Oh, my bad. I
No, it's Lafayette and Lindbergh. It's all good,
I was
though.
even reading it, and I said Ladue. That's crazy.
I know. Ben Saliga is an underrated player in the area.
Yeah, he really is for Lindbergh, and then Alex Hessler is another guy, 6'5".
They got some really good size, surprisingly, Lindbergh, too. They got
Lindbergh's always got good size.
Oh, yeah. I mean, going back to the days of Eric Lam, they've always had really good size.
And they for sure. And Fred Ahmad's a really good shooter for them.
Yeah.
And they're not particularly deep, but they have a lot of cogs.
Yep. And of course, the mid-state playoffs. That's going to be right here on the Lou Information Station Saturday, January 31st. It's going to be Parkway West versus Webster Groves at 8:45 p.m. Again, that's Parkway West versus Webster Groves, 8:45 p.m. Saturday, January 31st. Monday, February 2nd. That's right, Monday, February 2nd. Lafayette versus your Ladue Rams, John, at 7:50. And of course, again, that is Lafayette versus Ladue at 7:50 p.m. Monday, February 2nd. 12 total games right here on the Lou Information Station, 590 AM KLIS. That's 12 total games. 590 right here on 590 AM KLIS. And we're going to have all the championship games, all the mid-states championship games broadcast on the Lou Information Station YouTube channel and right here on 590 AM KLIS, the Lou Information Station. We have so much great hockey coming up on the mid-states playoffs. Looking forward to it. 12 total games, 3 total championship games here on the Lou Information Station YouTube channel and right here 590 AM, the Lou Information Station KLIS. Some great hockey coming down the pike. John, what are your socials? Plug those for us.
So we're at GSV_STL on Twitter and Instagram. And then if you want to go bother me personally on Twitter, it is at John Huff __.
That's right. My social media is, of course, Instagram. That is at Brody_Herman. That's at Brody_Herman on Instagram. And of course, on X, that's at Brody Herman _ again on X. That's at Brody Herman _. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Gateway Sports Venue High School Sports Show, live and on demand 24/7 right here on the Lou Information Station, live and on demand at louinfo.com. Have a great day, and we'll see you here next week right here on Friday at 10 o'clock a.m.